There we go. Hi, everybody. Tonight, our wonderful class is going to be on leadership habits. And so grab your pen, paper, get ready to take some wonderful notes from my friend, my mentor, my coach,
Yep, good.
Rita Lawrence.
Thank you.
And get ready to hear some awesome leadership information.
Thank you, Coach Teresa. Oh my gosh, if you're not already connected with Coach Teresa, she is an amazing human being. Thank you so much. And a friend, and obviously a coach, and someone that loves to serve. And I thank you for that introduction, and welcome everyone to the call live who's on and listening live. Lisa and Manuela and Coach Teresa. And I know there's some people that we're expecting that are having a couple of little issues, so they'll be on in a little while. And you know, I really just want to first of all say thank you for being here. I was listening to Oprah's Soul Sunday. I don't know if anybody listens to those on Sundays, but she is such an inspiration to me. And aside from our mentors here on Facebook, she is another person that I follow very closely. She's helped to allow me to just see different areas of my heart and my soul in a new way, in a new light. So I was listening to her, and one of the things somebody had asked her was, what's the what was it called? What's the most powerful gift? And the most powerful gift. And it just, as soon as I heard that question, it's like I could see the emoji with the hearts in my eyeballs, because, you know, we give gifts every day, right? When I meet someone on Facebook, I send them a gift. It's usually Robert's book or Melody's Power in Words. However, I wanted to know what Oprah's gift would be if she were in our communities and if she was giving something away, right? What's Oprah going to give you? Guess what it was? Does anybody know? It was time. Is that powerful? So powerful. So your time is most valuable because your dreams are valuable. And the way to get to our dreams is time, right? Anything that's great and fabulous is going to take a little time. So what Melody and Robert have inspired in me, and also Oprah, is to just take every single step that I take each day and put intention behind it, whatever it may be, whether it's intentionally looking into my child's eyes, or whether it's intentionally listening to Robert's training, or whether it's intentionally listening to a meditation, if I'm listening to a meditation, but doing one thing at a time and just being intentional, right? Because now when I think of time, that word time, it makes me think of my dreams. I remember my dreams because time's what's going to help get me there, right? That's and I know that we all have dreams. I know you have dreams. So number one, I'm just going to jump right in. We're just going to talk about leadership habits, and I'm going to go over a few things. There are 5 things, and then give you some action steps in each area as well, because I love when I know that you can leave and take some steps right now today to get to that next level, whatever it is you're seeking. So number one is leaders see their time as an asset. As an asset. That's so powerful, and here's why. Nobody can take time away from us or make us give it away. It doesn't cost money. Duplicatable. Everyone has 24 hours. It's our choice what we do with our time and energy in every single moment, right? So I do believe success is a choice, and I do believe that the more we harness the time we have in each day, the more we see our dreams come true, because that is absolutely what's been happening just as I've been being led to my own dreams, right? You know, I'm here to just be a guide. I want to thank our coaches, my coaches and mentors, and many of you here that are going to be listening to this and they're here today live, also are connected with Robert Hollis and Melody Riva. And if you're not, you do want to absolutely go ahead and connect with them, because they have free content, free courses, huge hearts of service, and they're just here to help us grow. And it's important to be connected with the source, right? So when we pray, it's great to have a preacher, but we all know that we all talk to God. If you're a believer, you go straight to the source, right? So same thing in life. You want to go to the source of the success that's exactly what you're looking for. And if you want to be a millionaire, you're going to need to continue connecting. Hello, Coach Barbara. if you want to be, if you what that is your dream, to serve more people and to just be of service and to contribute more, then that's part of it. So what's the next thing? Number 2 is leaders see dreams. Not just any dreams. They see the dreams of today and tomorrow, right? Versus yesterday. Very, very powerful. So the words that came to me was, have you ever had like an ode to a dream? Like, oh, this old dream that never came true. When I was in college, I busted my knee open and I never got to play competitive sports like I always wanted to. So now my life sucks at 40 and I have no choices anymore left because that happened to me in college. So just a really powerful example of an unanswered prayer that might still be hanging on to somebody. And, we've got to be conscious of this, not only in our own selves, but as we're communicating with people, we're building our network, we're building our legacy, right? Is it going to be efficient if we're building our legacy with people who are dreaming about yesterday? So, and that's where the power in words comes in. When you're communicating with people, always have that power in words open and listen to their communication and remember what you're also communicating with them as you're speaking to people. Anybody in your life, we're talking family, children, your boss, your upline sponsor, anybody that you're talking to. We really want to be conscious of, are we speaking life or death? And if we're speaking of the past, I'm sorry, but the past is dead. It is not alive anymore. What is alive is right now and moving forward. And now, I'm not talking about dreams that haven't come true yet. I'm not talking about what we have in our heart right now that we visualize and see coming to us, right? Those dreams, that's what we want to focus on. We want to focus there, and we want to make sure we're talking to other people that are focusing there as well. Huge time saver. Huge time saver here. The only difference, if you really look at leaders, is this. Is somebody focused on building the future or celebrating today? Or are they mourning over yesterday or expired dreams and that kind of thing? Be aware of who you're talking to. Leaders see the possibility, and that is a leadership habit of somebody that is always seeing the possibilities. Do I do it all the time? No, I know you don't. We're all human still, but that's just our what we're shooting for, right? That's our standard, is what I call it. Not even a goal. It's my standard every day to see the possibilities, and for me, my personal life comes first. It starts at home. I do believe that is the case for every single family. And when I started to be more present and aware with my children and my husband, was when I started to see growth in other areas like my business and my community, my network, that kind of thing. Because I kind of just went back to the basics and what are my dreams right now? And it was to have a happy, healthy family. And the best way to do that, so then I was able to see what I needed to focus on each day, right? Where to put my priorities so that at the end of the day, I was celebrating and not feeling like I gave my time away and gave myself away all day to Facebook and for what? Got nothing accomplished, which is how I used to feel before I had leaders to follow, successful leaders to follow, right? So anyway, let's get to number. I say 1 was time is an asset. 2 is leaders see dreams of today and tomorrow. And 3, leaders are duplicatable. Leaders are duplicatable. So there's so much that goes into this statement. Obviously, we know that. And I know that most of you know so much of the basics on how to be duplicatable. I know you do because you're here. I see you on Facebook. I see you in the communities. Many of you are connected with Melody and Robert, and I see you duplicating the system. If you're in a company, right? If you're in our network marketing company, if you're, seeking to grow a coaching business, it's still the same because you're seeking to grow coaches that are then going to go ahead and pass on the content again and again and again. So it doesn't matter where you're at. Same thing with family, right? Powerful here. We know that all family systems shouldn't be duplicated, or we choose not to duplicate all family systems, right? The families that we come through, we don't duplicate everything. If we become aware that something is causing pain, that something is hurting somebody, that something is hurting yourself, your goal is to quickly become aware of that and ditch it, right? Same thing when it comes to business, when it comes to growing a network of people that know, like, and trust you. You want it to be duplicatable. So, and you know, this is my big picture of this is it's just never, this is just something, the way I've made it duplicatable for me and for like this group here, as an example, is Melody has inspired me to create a habit of making a schedule every day, week ahead. So I have everything out that I know I'm going to prioritize that week. And that way it's there, it's set ahead, right? So I see my dream that week. So now I have this week's dream to focus on, right here. And then I fill in as I go. But what this helps me do, though, is to stay duplicatable, because anything I write down here, I have to remember, I want to remember that somebody else is also going to be doing these things. And in order to do this, there are just very, very basic things to remember. It's got to be simple. What you're doing has got to be something that people can duplicate easily and say, oh, this is easy, I can do that. And being simple doesn't mean it's duplicatable, because then you also have to be consistent over a long period of time. And that produces results. And then you're willing to stand the test of time, right? You're willing to go the long haul and to commit on the long term, because you're seeing results and you're also seeing other people getting results of, you know, before you, right? Your leaders and mentors and coaches. And then also you will begin to see them below you, with you, if you're not already. I know many of you are, because I know many of us are in Vision Team. And we know the documentation that's in there. So to build belief and to be duplicatable, simple system, and someone's got to be looking at it and saying it's easy. And, you know, like consistency, you know, if you're thinking of family, you know, it could be simple to look in my child's eyes every day for a month, but can I make that a lifelong habit? Can I make that a habit to where it's a leadership habit, to where when my daughter grows up and becomes a mother, she remembers that. She remembers that habit that I did with her. The only way she's going to remember that is if I'm consistent over a long period of time. And that's my goal. And again, you know, we're human, and there's going to be times where we take vacations and breaks and seasons off, and that is okay. Don't beat yourself up for taking time off. But the cool thing is it when you have your, you know, duplicatable system wrote out, what you're doing for the week. And you know, if you're a stay-at-home mom, this is probably going to be, you know, grocery shopping and errands with the kids, and you're going to have all your home stuff filled in. You don't have to have a business or company to be duplicatable. So remember that. And then another way to be duplicatable, and this is just important, and I'm going to mention this here because it's very important, because I know that most of you on this call and in Freedom Mastery are building a business. And it's very important that we remember that people connect with people and not products. So another duplication habit that I have as a leader is just always edifying a mentor or a coach or another person. Sometimes it's not my mentor or coach. Sometimes it's somebody that left me a testimony or a recommendation on my fan page. Like I'll say, you know, Coach Teresa left me, or Manuela left me a beautiful testimonial and recommendation. Why don't you go check that out? And then you can connect with her if you have any further questions or something like that. But always edifying a person is very, very key. And here in these communities, I want you to be comfortable to know that if you're edifying me or Melody or Robert, they are absolutely turning around and edifying you in return. So they're not out to seek somebody's business or sale or anything like that. Anybody that connects with them on Facebook, they edify whoever that common friend is that they see, right? Because if one of my new friends connects with me and then connects with Melody, we're gonna be the only friends in common. So she's gonna know, okay, Rita connected me with this person. Like almost immediately she'll know. And that's exactly how I'll know as well who you're connecting me with and who also you're connecting with through my friends list, right? So I think that it's a beautiful thing. It's a symbiosis that we have going here, because what happens is it makes our time very efficient, right? So like say Lisa, She comes in and she sees one of my posts, and some of my friends have commented, and she's commenting and connecting with this community of people, right? A lot of my friends I've had on my Facebook since 2009. So they know, like, and trust me. And if Lisa reaches out and says, hey, Rita is my friend, and I see that she is your friend, and I would just love to reach out and say hello and connect with you more, they are going to smile and they're going to say, oh my goodness, Lisa, yes, absolutely. Because they know me. I'm connected. It's a warm connection, right? Now, we still want to be making cold connections, which means new friends on Facebook that we don't maybe have in common, to practice connecting with people coldly, because we know it's different. We know when we connect with someone that's not warm right away and inviting, that it feels a little weird and odd, right? It's just kind of uncomfortable. Like, what do I say? I'm messaging like, hello, how are you today? ... This sounds so boring. Do I really say this? Like, you wonder what to say more. But if it's a warm connection, it's very easy to connect, very easy to find a common interest and a common ground. So I encourage you to connect within the communities, befriend my friends. I am not here to say, this is my friend and not your friend. These are, that's what this is all about. And Coach Teresa and I were having a beautiful conversation about this today. And I've had similar things happen. You will find that your friends will become friends with other people. And I know today, Coach Teresa, we had like an accident situation, but sometimes you'll have a friend that'll connect with somebody else, and then they'll maybe join their company, or they'll maybe buy a product from them. And it's just, I just see it as life. I just see it as if it was my day-to-day life here, in person. If I were at the grocery store and said hi to somebody, and, my friend met them that was with me at the grocery checkout. I kind of just see it like that. Connect all you want. Warm connections are always going to be easier and more comfortable. Okay, so the next is leaders go first. We're almost done. And again, this is another really broad, I know, statement, leaders go first, but I will give you some examples, and why, where the statement came from, right? So leaders are a community of people, first of all, that believe there is another level to our success. We believe we haven't hit the top. We believe there's always more. I know I do, and my mentors do, and that's why you guys are all here, right? So somebody has to do what's next the first time, right? You don't even know all the time you're doing what's next, because it's so new. It's something that is so new, right? That someone might have recommended you to do, or you might have seen Robert or Melody do, or me do, and you might be doing it, and you might be thinking, this isn't getting any results right now. But just remember that in those first steps of anything, you're not going to maybe see the results that you see in your visualizations right away on day one. You might, I do sometimes, but you might not. So what you want to do is just remember that, again, it's a lifelong commitment. And what you can do, though, is to harness your courage so that you can go first, because it takes courage to go first. Not going to lie. I every single day have to wake up and say, you're going to do this. You are strong. I look in the mirror and I tell myself what I will do and be that day. Not my to-do list, right? I'm not checking off boxes. This is what I'm going to be in my being. Who am I? I'm going to be a mom of integrity, and a wife of integrity, and a mom of presence, and a businesswoman of duplication, so that my team can see the success that I see, or that whoever I'm speaking to can see the success. Power stance in the mirror, Coach Barbara. Yes, that is a very powerful tool to stand straight up and bring your shoulders back while you're standing. And when I started to do this, I noticed how much I really didn't have great posture either. So it absolutely will help remind you of your posture if you do a power stance in the mirror. And again, it's just standing straight up, power, right? Arms, feet are wide, arms are out. And you want to look at yourself in the mirror this way, because you want to see yourself as strong and stable and sturdy, right? That way, when you're out in town, or even when you're on Facebook and you're communicating with people, and you take that stance, in your mind, you can see yourself in the mirror, and you can see how strong you look, and you can see how powerful you are, and you can see how straight. And, I just say I'm straight as an arrow, and I'm going straight for my dreams. And that's just, I say that and over and over again until I feel it, until I feel like I'm going to like take off like a rocket. And if you do it enough, you will absolutely energize yourself. We are absolutely energetic beings, and we can create the energy that we want for ourselves. And it's just such a beautiful thing when we do. So what builds courage, right? Seeing results. Seeing results quickly builds courage, because then you believe. And I mentioned this earlier, and then you'll keep going. And another reason that you need to see results and have this courage is because there are going to be times that are going to be painful. There are going to be times that people aren't going to join you. Like I said, they're going to either join someone else, but there's also going to be times, because this has happened to me here recently. And I posted a photo in the Freedom Mastery group. Did y'all see that photo? I posted a photo. Somebody wrote me a message. You might think I had wrote that message to someone, but somebody wrote me that message. And it was something I actually had to like sit back, and I had to get in my power stance, and I had to ask myself a couple questions. Did I put myself in this situation? Did I bring this about? Like, what is this about? Why would he see me this way? Why would he think I was trying to sell him a product? Because I started to scroll back, and I was like, I don't see any products here. All I see is Melody, Robert, a book, a meditation, Melody, an invitation to a group, people. All I'm doing is trying to connect into people. That's it. But for some reason, he's seeing me as a spammer. I've known this person on Facebook for over a year. I've talked to him on the telephone before. I had this system because I used to talk to everybody on the phone. I used to think that that's just what you needed to do to grow a business. You had to talk to people on the phone. And I know now you don't have to do that. That's not a leadership habit. It's not a success habit. You absolutely don't need to talk to people on the phone ever. I rarely do. I've talked to 2 people on the phone, and I think I have about 24 customers and affiliates now. And I've only talked to 2 of them on the phone live before they signed up. So it's not a necessity to talk to people on the phone. But what I did was I scrolled all the way back to the beginning of the conversation, and I wanted to share this. Listening is really important to make connections. Yes, you're right. So I'm about to tell you what happened. So I scrolled to the beginning, and I looked. So when I first connected with him, I wasn't listening. Because I didn't know how to listen. I didn't know how to read words. I didn't know how to see the power or not power in people's words, right? I really didn't know what I was looking at. When I would begin a conversation to talk to people, I thought all I was doing was sharing my heart and connecting with people because I love people and I want to help people. But the truth is, we can save a lot of time with the system if you can see people's words and see their conversations. So what I did was went all the way back. And do you know what his response to me was? He asked me what I did, what my business was on Facebook. And at the time, I was in that transition between, God just told me to stop building my previous business and told me to focus on me. So what I was doing was literally just building a network. I was just pouring love into people. So I told him that I was here to just share my heart and to just show an example of freedom and what life, can be. And that was it. And his next response was no questions. So here's how you'll know who someone's all about. And this leads into the next, the very last point today is leaders are we oriented, not me oriented. So the first thing he said back when I said that and told him about what I was, and it was very short, a one statement, because a leader that is we oriented would ask me another question, probably would want to know more about my story, right? He immediately responded with, I have this YouTube show and blah, 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 and started talking to me about his show. And back then, when I read that, I genuinely thought he was out to help me share my story. But he wasn't, because he didn't even know my story. First of all, because he didn't ask me any other questions. He didn't know what my story was. By looking on Facebook, can you tell what my story is? No, I don't think so. nobody really knows what my story is, as a matter of fact. There's many, many things about my story that are just too private to share at this time, and that most people probably won't know till my kids are sharing my story later. So when I went back now and looked at that conversation, it was just so powerful to see that that success habit that I had created over this last year. I've been reading The Power in Words on a regular basis. I know it was the power in words that helped me see that conversation to what he, was intending and where he was going with it, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that, right? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with him. However, that was his last statement to me, and then he blocked me. And you got to have courage to face these things, because there's going to be times where you're not going to understand. And you're going to feel, I felt used. I felt like after a year, if I was going to focus on my feelings, I was going to be feeling used, because I had been talking to him a year. I had been building that relationship. I truly thought he valued my story, because then after that, right, I had mentioned already, I went on to have many conversations with this person. So, he was not out to support my passion and dream, because when I finally did share with him, he was not interested in supporting anything. So look back at your conversations, look at your conversations, and do you say I or we or you? What person are you speaking in? And then also look to see who you're talking to. Like, look at maybe your last 10 to 15 conversations with people on Facebook. Really take a look and get a good look at who you're talking to. And why do we want we-oriented people to connect with? Why do we want to befriend them? And why do we want to surround ourselves with them? Because they're low drama people. They take self-responsibility for every single thing. Nothing is anybody's fault. They're not going to be blaming and pointing the finger and saying, this person did this, and reaching out to you saying, my team member isn't listening to me, or isn't coachable, or, whatever. They're not going to be complaining and just causing drama. Who wants drama in their life, right? Nobody, and especially in their business, especially. That is a flow stopper. Drama is not going to flow abundance. That's a low level energy when people are very dramatic and make issues over things. So also, they look on how to serve or make the situation better. So in situations where there's a problem, and this is something that I just focus to do each day. And, is this something we can fix? How can we fix this? Versus what can you do about this? Or what are you going to do about this? And then another thing, though, that I find that I often do, and here's where I want you to be careful, because a lot of times we'll take self-responsibility for what's not our responsibility. As women, I see a lot of women on here now. I know we have other people watching the recording, but you know that a mother's heart is to give unconditionally to her children. So what we, do without even noticing is we do begin to give unconditionally to every single person. And that's, that is our heart. However, we do not possess the energy to energize the entire world. That's why we create community and team. And that's why we create masterminds and, groups where we come together and then share our light, because that is where the power is. And that's just where how leaders grow. And, none of this is my own content. This is, inspired from my own mentors and coaches. And my goal is to be as duplicatable as possible with this. So I want to end. We're going to have question and answer. If anybody wants to chat, or if you have any testimonials, please share those wins. Any wins that you have celebrating. Right after I give these couple of announcements, I'm going to give you a couple of announcements here. And oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, so these things are very major. Like, get out your pen. This doesn't happen all the time. So there's two things that are happening right now. First of all, Melody Riva, she's my personal mentor. She has an accountability call tomorrow. It is at 1:30 p.m. Pacific. And if you are on this call live, I would like to invite you to join me on her call tomorrow, because you are my inner circle. If you are here and if you are live, I consider you my inner circle. This is where I show up no matter what, every single week, no matter what. So today's very peaceful and quiet, and I'm so glad, because I know last week was a little bit of a challenge for you guys. But I want to invite y'all tomorrow to that call to join me. So if you do want to do that, all you have to do is go into Journey to Freedom and I shared her post. So all you're going to do is just connect there on that post. It has all the instructions. And then number 2, the second announcement is there is another amazing opportunity, and I just did the process. So it's super simple, and I know you can do it. But if you go to Gary Cox fan page, he is Robert Hollis's personal success coach and mentor now. And he has a giveaway. You're going to be looking for the Sandals Resorts giveaway. And today is the last day to enter, ladies. So as soon as you get off this call, and gentlemen, there's gentlemen listening. As soon as you get off this call, you'll want to go there and do that. And it's a share. It's tag 3 people. These are good people. This is a good community. And who doesn't want to tag a Sandals Resorts on their profile? I did. I'm speaking that into my future. I've been feeling an island coming to me this year, and I'm not joking. I listened to a replay from roberthollis.com, and it sent me to do this. So I'm just thinking, oh my goodness, I had to share with you here. So make sure you do that if that's something you want to do. It does include registering for a $7 intro course. Again, this is somebody that I trust. This was recommended to me by my personal mentor. I would not ask you to do this if I wasn't personally connected with these people. So I would recommend to do it. I did it. And then I just want to remind you, anybody here that's watching that comes on at the replay, all of the information for your morning ritual and for your abundance course, it's called The Science of Getting Rich, is in the files. Please access those. If you don't have a morning routine in place, honestly, square one. Set that foundation of a morning routine. So go into the files, and that's in Freedom Mastery, and you can look up morning resources, and there's so much to do there. The God Memorandum is where I started, the 6-phase meditation as well. I had a lot of forgiveness, Coach Teresa as well. I had a lot of forgiveness to coming to a lot of people, and asking as well for forgiveness to a lot of people. So those 2 meditations literally changed my entire life. And to this day, those are what I share at least several times on Facebook every single day. So they're powerful, and people are looking for this kind of content. So if you have any questions, please let me know. And you're welcome to unmute yourself. Hi, Dawn. Please go ahead if you can. I can. Did you mean to raise your hand? Let's see if she can come out. I'm going to look and see where. Yeah. Hey. How are you, Dawn?
I'm good. How are you?
Fabulous. Thank you. Yes, Lisa, 1:30 Pacific. Yes. Okay. I just did a little glitch, so I'm going to look to make sure, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Okay. Yes, it ends up being 4:30 Eastern. Yep. Let me look too. And then also, if anybody wants to reach out to me, I want to put a reminder here that I check my email almost every single morning. Rita at bitsybaby, BITSYBABY.com. And you can always reach out to me personally there at any time. And the next thing I check, I do want to let you know, is the morning ritual journey. And if you look in the files, I have it titled as Journey to Freedom, and if you click on it, it'll give you 7 days. And I would love to know if any of you are currently working in there, because I have 2 people, I had 2 come back but didn't have a name. So I'm just curious if anybody's filling those out. I know Coach Barbara had this is my very first group coaching community, right? So I just thank you guys for your patience and with me, because a lot of this is new. I'm doing this for the very first time. It's uncomfortable sometimes, but I'm here for you, to serve you, and just to point, guide, and direct, to inspire you to just make the most of your time every day. Be purposeful with your time and your dreams, and just never give up on them. Never, ever, ever give up on them. And that leads to sure success. There's no doubt that if we never give up, we are always successful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Y'all are so kind to me. And I I do want to let you know how much I appreciate you being here and being here live. And it means a lot. And like I said, you know, this is it. I'm going to be here every day for the long run. I'm going to stand the test of time, and I'm putting all the habits that I'm learning into place, and I'm going to turn around and give those all to you here. So thanks for joining. And, you know, you're welcome to invite to this call as well. All right. So let me know if you have any questions. I guess everyone's done. I'm going to go ahead and say bye-bye and keep it short unless anyone has any questions. Please go ahead and come out. I don't know that I can always see what y'all are typing on the chat either, by the way. You're welcome, Coach Barbara. I do try to catch them as soon as they come up, and I can see it right away. So that's great. So we oriented, right? We're talking, and we're looking for others that are we oriented. So I know you all are, and I love you so much. Yes?
The only thing there was one thing I thought of when you were talking about the time being an asset. One thing that I tried to do, just in case this helps, is to document for like a week what I was doing with my time, so that I was able to see, oh, well, that 15 minutes wasn't worth it, but yet it allowed me to see a better way of scheduling it. So that was just one thing that popped in my head real quick.
Thank you so much for sharing that. That's actually very powerful. That's documentation, right? And that's one of Robert Hollis's biggest, I mean, he has actually coined the term documentation beats conversation. So that's very powerful. Coach Teresa is also a numbers girl. She is, she helps works with a lot of numbers during tax season, right? So if you need any help in that area, you can definitely reach out to her there. But she knows the power of documentation, and that's very, very true. When you're not documenting what you're doing, and again, you know, that's why I showed you this as well. You don't know. There's always that question. There's always that, is this working? You know, you'll get a result maybe, and then a week later, no result. Is this working? It worked last week, but is it going to work this week? Documentation will eliminate that fear. That's another way to build courage. Document. Keep documentation, and you can absolutely look back and see, where you're giving away your time, your precious time. But it's the only thing we really don't get back. So beautiful. Thank you so much, Coach Teresa, for sharing. Hi, Chris. Thank you so much for joining. My dear friend Chris Wood is listening. She is a new mama, and probably listening there with her sweet, sweet baby. Thank you for joining. So we're just ending, Chris. I know I will send you the link to the replay. And, you know, I want to encourage all of you. It's not that I'm like trying to make it difficult, like you better get on the live call, but I will say that it is a little challenging to post the replays in the group, because there's just some technical things I need to do that I don't have access to on a typical basis as we're camping, because we're traveling still full time. So I will say that live viewers, you know, that's really where to be here live, if you can catch me live. And I will get those technical issues situated as best I can for posting replays. And then as I can, I will post the replays. But feel free to invite, you know, your team, your family, anyone that you feel might value from this inspiration here. Okay, I love you all. You're welcome. Coach Teresa.
I really appreciate you.
You're welcome.
I give you a lot of credit. A woman that's traveling and
Thank you. You're so
awesome.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much, hon.
You are so beautiful. You're very welcome. I so appreciate you being here. You know what, Coach Teresa? I was going to try to get a picture here. I know a few people have left, but I'm not on my desktop, so I can't even see everyone. Do you get a screen of everybody? Can you take a screenshot? Does everybody want to smile?
Hang on one second. I'm still getting used to this new phone.
Oh, you could do a screen.
There we go. Okay. And in case, I know there's a couple of you that I'm not connected with, just in case, I'm just putting it in down here. I'm Teresa Jones Thurston because I'm happy to help out in any way. I know it shows Worm Tree. That's my code for everything. But
Good. Yes, absolutely. Like I said, Coach Teresa is a numbers girl, and she's very experienced with taxes. And I know we are all in that season right now. So that's actually the reason we're headed back. Yay! Good job. That's a leadership habit there. You're inspiring me to do ours. So I love you, ladies, and we'll talk to you again. If you can make it tomorrow, please connect and get on Melody's call tomorrow. Is a huge opportunity. I mean, that's really big. Like it's gonna be exciting. I'm gonna set aside some good time tomorrow. Make sure that I'm not listening with my children so I can really be present. So love y'all.
The link, you're gonna send us the link?
It's in the Journey to Freedom group.
Okay.
I shared Melody's post because she posted about it.
All right. I would search for it. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in there. I saw that this evening, and I was excited to see it.
Yes. Yeah. Good.
Yeah. Because she's doing it with Gary, or is it just her accountability?
It's her accountability call. So I'm typically on that call, but tomorrow she's actually going to have Gary. She's hosting him, so he's going to coach. Yeah, so that's really cool because that means,
absolutely.
I mean, we could have a chance to have a conversation with him and have a breakthrough, like whatever. I don't know. If you're feeling stuck in any area of life, this is the call to be on tomorrow because this is just something that normally doesn't happen. Like I think the last time they did this was in December or maybe early January, but it doesn't happen.
Yeah. The last one that I personally remember with Gary is when Robert and Terry did it with Gary back on the 5th of December. And that was the absolute longest one I have ever been on in my entire life. I think it went on for like 3 hours.
Oh, wow. Well, thanks for that heads up.
Yeah, definitely.
If any of you have never been on it, oh my gosh. Highly, highly recommend it because it's phenomenal to stay on it from beginning to end because that man is awesome.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, in December I wasn't able to get on that. We were just traveling still. Yeah. So when I saw today, I was excited to jump in board in that community too. So yes, connected.
It was a fight too because they were only supposed to take up to like, I think it was like 100 people or something like that. It was like a really small amount that they were able to take at first, to get on with the video recording itself. But
so that's important.
Like 700.
Wow.
Yes. Yes.
That's insane. Yes. Crazy. Okay. Well, that's beautiful. I look forward to it. I hope we have hundreds on tomorrow. That would be amazing. Definitely a good community to get connected in. And I think it's great. It's a great opportunity. It's something fun too, right? To do and share and, build people's dreams. Many people have never even seen an island. I mean, isn't that crazy? So, so I love this community. I love how we just share and how we have hearts to serve and, that it's not always about us. Like, it's about the community and that's what's beautiful with everyone here. Great. And I love you all so much. And, Coach Teresa, I'm going to give it back to you. Do you have any last things that you want to share? I know you had, go ahead and give your full name again so we know how to find you on Facebook.
Teresa Jones Thurston.
Okay, so you can connect with her there. Yes, and then you can go ahead and this is the first call that we've done this way. This is how, Melody and Robert are coaching me to do this. So I have forgotten on the previous calls, Coach Teresa, that now I'm supposed to hand it back to you. And that way you can end and give kind of the last inspiration piece to close. By the way.
Oh, by the way, at the last minute. Okay.
No, No,
Well,
it's just a
just-
buy. It's just a buy. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I know on the East Coast, y'all are ready for bed. So I love y'all, and I want to make the most of your time.
Yes, but no, this was great information on leadership, and we appreciate it. And thank all of y'all for being here. And for everybody that's on the replay, y'all try to come live so we can see you. All right.
Yeah.
Thank y'all.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night. Good night, Lisa. Good night, Manuela.
Good night, sweetie.
Hey, Chris. Hey, girl. Sweet girl.
Have a good night, everyone.
I love you. I'm so happy for you. I saw you did your first yoga sub again this morning, today after being on postpartum leave. So congratulations. That's a huge milestone to celebrate, and just so beautiful. I know you feel so great and energized today. I bet I can see in your face. Maybe not anymore now. Hi, Miss Paulette. I can't hear you, Chris. You're
There we go.
muted. There you go.
Prepping for Dr. Seuss Day.
Look how beautiful, how fun. Consider all the possibilities. Oh my gosh, where will you go today? What's that book? That's one of the books Jackson has of Dr. Seuss. That's cute.
Yeah, it's the, oh gosh, what are they called?
Thing one.
Or Sneeze? Sneech. Something like that.
Something. Awesome. Y'all are so creative. I love how you're always involved with your kids. So Chris also homeschools. And she was actually somebody that started homeschooling after we became friends and after we had known each other for quite a while. So we've been on a beautiful journey as our life seasons change. Chris Wood and I. Chris is also, she works in the emergency room at her local hospital. So she's a very, very strong leader in the community. So I appreciate you being here, Chris.
Aw,
Hi,
thank you. Super sweet.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Hi, Miss Paulette. Thank you so much for joining.